Hey everyone, and welcome to Craig Duswald's Rock Your Life TV series, where we interview amazing business leaders and innovative entrepreneurs. I am your guest host, Dean Cain, and I'm here today with our very special guest, Dave Nassaney.
Oh, you said it right.
I said it right because it goes Nassaney. Dave, you are the caregiver's caregiver.
I am.
Please explain that to myself and our viewers.
Well, first of all, I'm an entrepreneur. I have a gas station, 37 years. I wrote this book, Getting Hosed, Secrets, Confessions, and Tales of a Gas Station Owner.
That is probably very interesting in its own right.
It is, but that's another story.
Okay.
So I've been married 41 years or so. So my wife and I, we had a fairy tale storybook romance, okay? And what we did is we were just having a great time. We got married, we raised kids, 3 daughters, and then one day, she has this headache, the headache of her life. And all of a sudden, we didn't do anything about it because it's just a headache, right? Take 2 aspirin, call me in the morning. Well, the headache turned out to not be a headache. Well, by the time the ambulance arrived, she had the stroke. Left her severely speech impaired and paralyzed on her right side.
Holy smokes.
And it was a bad day. Everything changed. Our life turned upside down.
You became a caregiver.
I became a caregiver. I didn't even know what a caregiver was.
Most people don't, and then you think about it's for your elderly parents or something like that.
Yeah, so all of a sudden I had to care for her, and it was tough. Next 2 years was like hell on earth.
Oh,
and
wow.
One thing led to another, and my wife was really not treating me nicely. And you couldn't blame her. She was
in anger, and she was
in grief, she was in anger. And so, her anger and her bitterness just got to me. And after a while, I just didn't know if I can continue doing it, And so I got to a point where I just said, I can't do this anymore. So I figured I'm going to sit down and write her a letter. So I sat down, I says, Dear Charlene, why are you so mean to me? It's so hard being your husband and trying to care for you all the time and getting no love back in return. And I says, I just don't think I can do it anymore. I says, I don't think I can be with you. I want to just, I'll take care of you financially, but I don't want to be with you. And so I took that letter, Dean, and I read it over and over and over again. And I couldn't give it to her. So it's so painful to talk about, but I went through the 2 years of grief. Every time you suffer loss, you go through a grief process. There's 5 stages of grief. And anger was her favorite stage.
That was her favorite stage, yes.
So I was the only one around, so I got the brunt of the anger, and so things got pretty rough. And basically, I had to decide what to do. And so I learned through this, that faith, hope, and love can be an amazing triumph when you're trying to not give up. And so I'm still here. And so I teach caregivers how not to give up through that same hope.
I have to ask the obvious question. How did it work out with your wife? What's the situation now? Where is she, and how are you? Where's the relationship as a caregiver, or no longer as a caregiver?
It was a very tough 2 years, but you know what? I didn't give up, like I told you. And now today, my wife has gone through her grief. We've fallen in love all over again. See, it has a happy ending.
I didn't know it was going to have a happy ending, so I'm very happy to hear that.
Our faith has never been stronger. Our love has never been stronger. And she's an amazing person. I'm very proud of her. She's kind of like a cross between Martha Stewart and Wonder Woman. The opposite of you. You're Superman, Wonder Woman.
Darn right.
And so she makes us normal people look like whiners and complainers, especially me. If I have some pain, she looks at me like, she can't talk because she's speech impaired.
It still has that.
But she gives me this look. People don't have to talk. You got the look. Yeah. And this look like, really? Try wearing my moccasins for 24 hours, buddy. So, I actually tried to put duct tape over my mouth one day. I was going to do it for 24 hours just to show her that, I'm tough. And I tied my arm behind my back, and I kind of, tied my arm. And after 20 minutes, I couldn't do it.
Lose your mind.
I says, okay, you're Wonder Woman. You win.
Wow. That's quite a story. I didn't realize it was going to come that way, and that's incredible.
See, it's a happy ending. That's why I'm so happy. I got a smile on my face. She takes good care of me. I come home, the food is on the table, the laundry's done, the house is clean. I look around saying, where are the elves who helped you? She's like a one-arm wallpaper hanger.
That's
How do you do that?
That's amazing. My son just thinks it happens magically.
Yeah. But the bottom line is, as a result of all the things that I had to go through, learning how to be a caregiver and getting no help, I decided I don't want anyone else going through what I went through.
Well, there's no handbook for it. I mean, nobody will tell you. Is this
it wasn't on my resume. I didn't sign up for this.
No.
And so now I can teach other caregivers how to avoid burnout and survive the grief process. And so I have a radio show, Dave the Caregiver's Caregiver. I host it every week.
Dave the Caregiver's Caregiver.
Because Dave's just a great name, isn't it?
It is a great name.
You know?
It is a great name. Well, where do we find the radio? Is it a podcast or is it a...
It's a podcast. It's actually a video cast. So...
and who cares for the caregiver?
Nobody.
That's the whole point, I guess.
But now I do.
And you do.
And so I've done like 160 shows so far. I've been doing this for about 3 years. So it's really opened my eyes. I bring on caregiver experts and caregivers who are the experts.
Well, they're doing it, I guess.
And they're just talking about how they survived, how they thrived and survived, how they get through. The number one thing is you got to put your needs first.
You, the person, the caregiver.
Yes. The airlines tell us, in the event of an emergency, put your mask on first before you help your loved one with their mask. What an amazing concept.
Yeah,
what a great metaphor. Take care of your needs first, not out of selfishness, but out of survival.
Sure.
Right? Picture the plane's going down, the wings are in flames, everyone's screaming, your little bundle of joy is there gasping for that. Whose mask are you going to put on first?
You want to go for your kid, of course. You want to go, but if you don't take yours and put it on.
Yeah, but I'm the caregiver's caregiver, and I don't even know if I could do that. It's like we're not wired that way. We have to give them permission. It's okay to be a little selfish. Selfish is a dirty word to a caregiver because, they're caring and they're giving and they're sacrificial and they give and they give and give.
You get nothing back.
Nothing left to give.
Now, what are the 3 books here? We got to get them real quick.
Okay, so...
Getting Hosed is funny. I can't believe we were a gas station owner.
This is the first book, One Arm, One Leg, 100 Words.
And there she is.
Yes, there she is. This is the story I told about my wife. It's our memoirs. And just for going to my website, we have a spot that says, are you a candidate for burnout? Take the quiz. I will give you the electronic version of this absolutely free.
And what is the website again?
Caregiverscaregiver.com. Caregivers with an S, caregiver without an S.com. This is my new book, hot off the press. It's my life too. This is specifically for caregivers. Reclaim your caregiver sanity by learning when to say yes and when to say no. Caregivers need boundaries or they will be abused. They will just,
it just happens.
They'll just get sucked in.
Yeah, and you don't realize it. It's not something I think a lot of people think about. That's really interesting stuff, and I appreciate you being here, Dave. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much.
We'll see you again after these messages.
All right.